Up and down, up and down.
That's
up and
the
down.
way
You know what
it
I'm talking
is.
about, ladies and
It's
gentlemen?
springtime, baby.
Yeah, that means the temperature's going up a few days and then going down a few days.
I am tired of being cold.
I know. Here I am getting all choked up, sniffly, because, my body doesn't know when to be well and when to be sick.
You know what? I've kind of looks like I lost my razor.
Yes, it does.
And my beard's getting a little gray down here.
Yes, sir.
I'm thinking maybe I'm just not going to shave until I can work on my tan.
Oh, he's got a beard.
Yeah, I'm a beard man.
I want to see that.
Hello and welcome to your old news update.
Distinguished.
Yep. Not yet though. I'm Izzy Fitz.
And I'm Bud Driscoll.
Very clean shaven.
I shaved this morning, as a matter of fact.
And I didn't. Let's shout out to our sponsors. Eagle Crest.
I'm coughing too much.
Don't cough on me. Eagle Crest Retirement Community, 1501 East Magnolia. Headley's Clothing, 1829 South 9th. And Smoky Hill Museum, 211
West.
Iron.
Yes, don't forget the iron part.
Yeah. Well, topping the headlines from yesteryear.
And also topping your head if you're going the wrong direction.
Hey, I'm up first this time.
That's right.
Pigeons are no longer just a downtown problem.
Plop.
That's the conclusion of members of the Pigeon Control Committee of Salina's Business Improvement District.
I want to be on that.
The birds, the committee has determined, are displaying a perverse sense of fairness and are spreading their patronage among other shopping districts in the city. Therefore, the committee suggests that the Salina City Commission spend $2,000 to begin a citywide eradication program involving traps and the use of pigeon-eating prairie falcons.
Pigeon-eating prairie falcons.
They never mention shotguns there, do they?
It might
You're not going to spend $2,000 on shotgun shell.
No. You think,
That would be inhumane, wouldn't it?
It would be.
Yeah.
But it must have worked. Did you notice a lot of pigeons around here?
No.
Lately? They must have worked.
Yep.
Well, let's see if this worked.
All right.
March 11th, 1964. Salina's Case of the Girly magazines goes to trial April 7th in Saline County District Court.
Blasphemy.
It may or may not end there, though. A district court decision could be appealed. There are similar cases now before the U.S. Supreme Court. The case has been before the court since January, when hundreds of copies of the magazine were seized and raised, conducted by County Attorney John Weckel. Weckel, who personally supervised and looked over each part of the evidence, alleges the magazines
Several times.
Alleges the magazines are obscene under Kansas law and asks the court to order their destruction as soon as he's finished with them.
As soon as he's done. Yeah.
Well, that kind of reminds me, things never change. Reminds me of the Lion's Den stuff going on right now.
That's right.
Every time you try to squash it, it just comes back.
That's right. 75 years ago, March 11th, 1939, a permanent injunction barring C.E. Ray, 115 West Minneapolis, from the illegal practice of medicine was granted this morning by District Judge Roy A. Smith. Ray, who manufactures hot shot liniment and tuberculosis compound, was not in the courtroom, though his attorney was there.
Well, there's a wrong Ray to go through everything, isn't there?
That's right, hot shot liniment. I wonder what that's all about.
I don't know. I think you'd be sitting on the porcelain for a while
Yes,
after that
you
stuff.
would. Yes, you would. It would be a hot deal.
Hot time in the old bathroom tonight. Okay, March 16th, 1939. Oh, here's an official nomination for the meanest thief. The meanest thief in Salina was filed at the police station this morning. Mrs. Iva Tyler, 603 West Elm, reported that sometime during the past 10 days, a small granite tombstone inscribed Mother had been stolen from her family lot at Gypsum Hill Cemetery. She told officers that the stone, a foot marker weighing about 25 pounds, had been dug up, concrete base and all.
That's a heavy dude.
I know. Mrs. Tyler, when asked about the theft, said it was the meanest thing I ever heard of, but also saw the humorous side because the used tombstone market has been glutted for years.
Yeah, who wouldn't want to use tombstone?
Especially one that said Mother.
That's right. March 14, 1914. A man giving the name of Fred Bell and a woman known in Salina as Florence Leach. That's almost like Cloris Leachman.
Yes.
Were arrested on prostitution charges about 2:30 o'clock this morning. They had been observed to arrive on a train, and policeman Meyer and Hoadley trailed them to the Connors rooming house, where they were found in the same room, although they had taken separate rooms at first. Bell was charged with visiting a place for the purpose of prostitution, and the woman was charged with prostitution.
Oh, yeah.
Each was given a fine of $10 and
$10.
costs in police court, and both paid the same amount.
You know, today would be a bargain. $10 would be a bargain for, a house of ill repute.
Oh yeah, they'd hit you for thousands.
Well, you can't put one over on policeman Meyer and Hoadley.
Nope.
Just don't try, kids.
Oh, they always get their man and their woman.
And finally, from 125 years ago, on March 14th, 1899, from the Salina Journal-Republican, or the Salina Republican, for sale, 3-room house, stable, coal house, chicken house, shade trees, etc. Good lot on 12th Street. Price is $850. Easy term or trade for horses. In those days, horses were more valuable than a house.
That's right. Read more about the way things used to be in the look back section of Monday's Salina Journal.
And pray for some springtime. Pray for springtime, and we'll see you yesterday.